well met. Welcome to the pregame hangout for Greymantle Arc 2. Woo! Yeah,
Woo!
we're kicking off with an awesome heist in tonight's session, which will go for probably a couple of sessions, but we'll see. You might derail the train immediately, and then we'll have to do something else. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's how that
Anyway,
works.
I'm Eric Scott to be. These are other wonderful players and actors here on the Dungeon Scrollers channel. Thanks for coming to hang out with us. So, Greymantle, who's excited?
I mean, yeah, of course I am.
Yeah. Allie's a bit biased. It's true.
I am. I will admit to this.
So, for those of you all, as in the people hanging out with us who missed last time we were talking about Greymantle, why don't you put it in a few words for us, Allie? Just catch everybody up.
Well, what, like, you want me to do a quick recap
The
of the...
concept of the setting and the tone and the
Ah,
feel.
okay. Uh, there's a few different ways to describe it. I think kind of Victorian style dark fantasy is a good way. Or, you know, I use the word magipunk a lot since there's a lot of like imagine steampunk, but instead of steam, they use magic, like kind of that kind of thing.
Yeah, and you all
Um,
are pretty punkish. It's true. You're all
this is
fighting the
true.
man.
Maybe a little dash of cosmic horror here and there.
Yeah. Yeah, all of these characters are hustlers in one way or another. Thieves, scoundrels, tricksters,
I don't
trying to
know.
make their way.
I only play nice girls.
Says the mob princess. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the nicest of girls. Obviously.
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
Exactly.
Just so nice.
So nice.
All right. I was gonna look up in my notes there for one of Ori's background characters.
True. But yeah, Greymantle to me very much feels like if you engage the best urban fantasy writer you can think of to reimagine Dickens.
I like that though. That's a
It's
good way
like
to look
it's
at it.
Dickensian, but better and with magic.
Fewer words, probably.
It's but it's got all of that like
And less
creepy
more like
Victorian atmospheric stained lace and torn petticoat, muddy sidewalk sort of Victorian grunge stuff happening.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Forda? Oh, now you're muted. Oh no.
Are you?
I was gonna say I don't know. Anyway, when Forda's back, I was gonna say.
Sorry, it hiccuped there. What was the question?
Oh, no worries. Oh, you were gonna say something, and then Amanda beat you to the punch.
Oh no, all I said was that it was Dickensian without the moralizing.
Yeah, there you go. That's true.
Also fair.
Well,
I'm not
I don't
sure
know.
any of these people could spell moral at this point. So
you haven't met people from Dayside very much, so those people might be very moralizing. Who knows?
I mean, yeah, Dayside is a whole different kettle of fish. Like,
I mean, there's a reason we don't hang out with them.
Yeah, also we have there's honor among thieves. Like that's morals. That is a code of morals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, some of us are probably more loyal to each other than certain of the high hoity-toity types over in Dayside. Politicking.
We are open about our stealing, unlike, the capitalists of Dayside.
Fair.
At least we're honest about it.
We're not trying to be something we're not. Oh wait, no, never mind.
Such honest thieves we are.
Well, it wouldn't be a proper heist story without some hoity-toities to rob blind. So Yeah, I was gonna
Mhm.
say it's a bit queer, the story, and I am here for it. I'm glad
A
that
little bit.
it's a bit more than Dickens, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah,
I
Greymantle is
mean,
a lot more forward thinking with regard to people than Dickens's London was. Uh, anyone else got any dirt they want to throw at Dickens? Christmas Carol was pretty good.
Muppet Christmas Carol
I
was
was about to
better.
say the Muppet
Exactly,
version.
Muppet Christmas Carol. That's the
The
one that
Muppet
Dickens
version
wrote,
of
right?
everything is better, though.
I mean, and also Oliver the Musical. Totally fun. But
Okay. Yeah. That seems reasonable. All right. So, key things to know about Greymantle: paper money in addition to metal money, steam / magic powered things like trains and other vehicles. There are horseless carriages around.
I feel like they're exceedingly rare though. Like,
They are very rare, especially in Nightside.
mm,
And Nightside is run by mobs. The infernal the infernal family. Oh, Hellfire. That's what I called them. Hellfire is the dominant power in Nightside at the moment. And the rulers of that mob are largely sworn to fiend pacts, and they're warlocks. Tieflings are very important in the family because it's a mark of great power and favor from your patrons, which makes one of you being a tiefling who's not part of Hellfire interesting. There's some story there, and we're gonna explore it.
oh yes.
Yeah, there are other families and there are other isolated powers in Nightside, particularly really weird, slightly slightly beyond the scope of normal people's perception, warlocks sworn to great old ones, and you encountered one of those. And yeah, so there's a lot going on. All
I
right.
just remember, I remember in our early conceptions of this setting, for a little while, it was like, oops, all warlocks. It
Yep.
was very.
All warlocks all the way down. Yeah, and there's a little bit of that, but we're diversifying it. The thing is,
Yeah.
like, everything in D&D can fit somewhere in Greymantle. That's our concept. So now that we've spoken a little bit about Greymantle, got ourselves back into the feel for it. Who's excited about the D&D movie? Huh?
I mean, I
Yeah.
am honestly like
Right?
I hear it's
Yeah.
getting good reviews. I've been
It
excited.
the casting, the acting, all of the little Easter eggs and things that they're putting in there, like all of it seems so fun. You could tell everybody seems to be having a great time doing it. I am a little upset that we don't get oh god, Jeremy Irons hamming it up. But it can't be perfect. It can't be
Yeah, it can't
perfect.
be perfect. That was like the one good thing
Mhm.
from the original.
Yeah, with just him being like,
Yes.
I mean, I feel like the requisite time to be angry at WotC has largely passed. The 2 months that have gone past since the OGL debacle.
was that really
And
2 whole months ago?
it
Oh,
really
It
Lord.
doesn't
is.
feel
Feels
like
like
2
it was the day
months.
before yesterday.
It really
Uh,
does.
yeah, but no, it. I'm still a bit wary, right? Like I'm. I feel the same way I have always felt about WotC, which is okay, sure. Like, I'll believe it when I see it. That's how I feel. And I feel like there have been good signs that they have done kind of what people wanted. Did they do it for all the right reasons? Who can say? But they
Yeah.
they did what people wanted a little bit, and we're making our way forward. I'm optimistic. I think things will go well. I hope things will
Yeah.
go well.
I'm trying to go in with no expectations and like no hopes and no like knowing very little, so that if I could just sit in the seat and be entertained, that'll be worth having gotten up and gotten dressed that day.
I am very surprised to see glowing reviews coming out. I'm like, oh my god, is this really gonna happen? Is there
What is
really
it,
going to be a
fourth time's
good
the
D&D
charm?
movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's say fourth. Let's yeah.
Was there? I'm forgetting how many there were before this. Like, I know that there was at least 3.
Ah, so the
Are
enchantment
we
spell has
counting
been
the animated
successful.
ones?
Florida. Breaking
Oh
the gash,
no.
Florida.
Oh no.
Ooh. And then what about like the Darkness Rising movies? 'Cause,
Those are
like,
different though. Those
Okay,
are
but
different.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
those
right.
those are different. Those are different.
fair.
The Darkness Rising were put out by the. Okay,
Was
I'm
it
trying to
those
Dead
figure
were
out
Gentlemen?
Zoe
now.
movies.
Dead-
Those
it
were
was- it
Zoe
was-
movies, were
yeah,
They
it
were
they?
was
Zoe
the Orpheus
movies,
Those were
Entertainment.
Zoe
but they might
movies.
have been Dead Gentlemen who became Zoe.
It was both. It was a little bit of both.
Yeah, it's complicated, but yeah, I know the folks behind those movies, and they are great, and
Yes.
all of the stuff they put together is fantastic. So they're usually at Gen Con too, so
Yeah.
might run into some of them.
Yeah.
I actually went to high school with one of the dude's wives, who was also getting increasingly involved in the organization. I mean, she's a teacher in her regular day job, but she helps with Zoe a lot too. So I make a point to see her every time I go to Gen Con. I have to track her down and then take a selfie, which I then send to my mom, and she goes, "Aha! You met each other." She really literally lives like 20 miles away from me, but the only time I ever see her is at Gen Con. That's often how the industry works. So
This is fair. I mean, sometimes I look at the kind of connections I've accumulated over the last decade, I think, just be- around when I got involved in the in the industry on some level. And I just look at some of these and I'm like, how the hell did that happen? Like,
Well, I
Like, how-
forgot Emerald City Comic Con was happening because I forgot it 6 months ago, and so like didn't turn my paperwork in, so that I didn't have credentials, so that I wasn't on programming, so I didn't go. But a bunch of people came here, and one of my friends who I haven't seen since 2019 was on programming, and she was here, and we and another friend of mine all went out to dinner, and it occurred to me that this friend of mine wrote 3 of my kids' favorite books. And so I snuck my kids' hardbacks out of their room and into a bar so I could get my friend to sign them and bring them back. And I'm like, someday my child will figure out that his childhood was not normal. But today is not that day. And I'm very excited that I was able to get all these books signed.
nice.
yeah, I was looking, like, I keep getting these recommendations on Facebook for like, you have mutual connections with these people, and it's like multiple like actual fairly high tier, well-known TTRPG streamers, and I'm like, how do I have that many mutual friends with these people? I am not going to click that button because that would be weird. But it is nice to know at the very least. Maybe if I ever meet them directly, I will be comfortable sending a friend request, but I'm not going to be that person.
I occasionally get friend requests from people that like I've had books they wrote on my shelf since like middle school.
Well, like,
And I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah.
You just friend requested me. Okay.
So
See,
like, yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say like because I get that stuff happening a bunch too, and I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna just roll with this, and maybe you made a mistake, but until that, I'm gonna ride these coattails. Hell yeah! Just welcome
Yeah.
aboard that coattail train. Yeah.
Well, like, there was a point where I think I forget exactly the order of events, but I had friended one of the Realms authors I really liked at the time, And then like out of nowhere, I had several others sending me friend requests, and I'm like, what is happening here? What is
Mhm.
like I
That's
can't
how it
remember which one
happens.
I can't remember which one I friended first, but uh then I got like requests from a bunch of others. I'm like, what is this? I am no one. What is happening?
I had reason to think about how many of the other realms authors I have met or interacted with, and I
Hmm.
could only think of like two that I didn't know or hadn't interacted with. And I was like, oh my God, I know way too many people. It's awesome. But anyway, yeah, the Realms alumni are pretty cool.
Oh yeah, fully agreed. Hmm. But yeah, I am jazzed for today. I've been looking forward to this for a bit now. Kind of been.
There's just ever since we started talking about trains, just ever since for me, like y'all have no idea what you have unlocked in
Yeah, I
doing
mentioned
that.
trains, and now here we are. But
Like
yes,
straight up, my brain immediately launched back to frickin' elementary and middle school and my special interest of specifically trains from the 1850s to 1900. I don't care about trains after that, but like, or
See,
sorry, 1930.
you go there, I'm literally at like the Fast and Furious franchise. I'm just like, yeah, and it'll be just like Fast Five. I think it was Fast Five, where they do the thing, and then they have a car, and then it goes on the other car, and then it's just Car City, man.
And like,
Yeah.
legitimately, I'm just sitting here going, porters and bellhops and engineers and the guy who brings coal from the coal car and like also the tramps on the back, the caboose.
Right, and the stokers up front, and then like yes,
Yeah.
and yes,
And
the
meanwhile,
the
somebody rides
Pullman
up the
board.
horses and sticks them up.
Meanwhile, I live in the world of and the Pullman butler.
Yeah,
My.
I am getting the feeling that somehow this is going to like involve us riding horses off of the top of the train and onto a
No, I'm
parallel
not gonna
train or
risk the
some
horse's legs
nonsense.
like that.
And we need to have
But
like
but
that epic moment where it's like gonna either go into a dead end or off a bridge, off a cliff or something, and we have to be like, no.
or like that emotional vibe at least.
Yeah, let me make sure I have.
Like even if it's we accidentally opened an eldritch portal in front of the train. Oops.
This bridge may or may not be complete. It might be behind schedule.
Okay, so something has to explode, and you either have to fly away from it or just walk away from it without looking back.
Yes,
right?
walking
It's
away.
Gotta be one of
funny
those
that you
two.
mentioned explosions.
I
Because
mean,
like I'm strongly considering having Sounder smuggle y'all some dynamite or dynamite equivalent because like straight up I'm thinking about train heists of the 1800s. Like
Yeah, my
Right,
brain
I'm
went
carrying
to
my little carpet bag, and it's actually full to the brim with TNT. Just like,
I mean, not for nothing, but my character has Misty Step prepared, so.
Hey, look, with given that I've been using basically Shadarkai as the shorthand for what Sparrow is.
Yeah,
I am designing
I was guessing. I was like, this seems like Shadarkai shit.
I'm designing something that will actually
Ooh.
encompass it properly, but it's
I
not
am
completely ready
excited.
yet. But yes, using Shadarkai. So I do have Blessing of the Raven Queen, which is a thing.
Yeah. I made a 4E Shadarkai Ranger, and it was like one of my favorite characters. I basically just really liked the idea that like she was just this like revenant kind of like wandering the earth, and just was brought to this world for this purpose that like she didn't know, but it was the Raven's Queen's blessing or whatever. And she's just like, this is weird. People are happy here and I don't like it.
So my
Nice.
long-running 4E character was a Shatterkai sword mage,
Yes.
and like she was a shielding
Mhm.
sword mage. So basically, her whole shtick was that she protected everybody else from harm, and when she took damage, it made her increasingly excited in the battle until she
Yes.
got really erratic as time went on. When I got bloodied, I would just start like like saying random things
Mhm.
and like
Mhm.
panting, and the DM was like, "Oh my god, okay," and it was awesome.
It was fun. Yeah, because that was the thing that bums me out about the change to 5e. Like, I get why they did it, but I thought that the, like, because we live so close to death, like, we have to do extreme shit to feel alive. Like, I thought that was such cool flavor to, like, play with and role play with. Because yeah, I'm playing a Gloomstalker for a different 5e
Mm.
campaign, and it's definitely a different vibe of like everything's very muted and all of that. But like, I don't know, I miss the like, we are basically Mad Max punks, but like goth flavored.
I mean, not to
Mhm.
get too well, I won't go beyond the
Ooh.
PG-13, but
Oh.
I've always even within 5e, I just think of them as like, oh, you've
Mhm.
got the goth BDSM elves. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's what they were, and that's what. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think the
Mhm.
Shatterkai were originally uh, a type of elf back when they first appeared.
Yeah. Because they were like elves that got transported to, like, they were basically like a cult and then got stuck in the Shadowfell or whatever,
Yeah,
and then just
in
kind of
whatever the
evolved.
Shadowfell was before the Shadowfell became the Shadowfell.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think it was just a
So
plane of shadow or something. It
Yeah,
was
that was
yeah,
it. That was it. And then just kind of like evolved and adapted, and we're just like, we love the Raven Queen.
yeah, and then
Step
they
on
spent
us,
a
mommy.
while. They spent a while not being elves, and then they kind of went back to being elves.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was one of the interesting things that fourth edition did, was they were like, wow, we have so many elves, we need to, people are going to get confused, we need to break it up and have them be different things. So we're going to have Eladrin and we're going to have Shattered Kai, and
Oh man.
like it,
I thought that
okay.
was a fun step.
So every time anyone says Eladrin, I think of like, I don't know if anybody's listened to like the early episodes of the Acquisitions Incorporated podcast, but like
Mm.
I just think
Mhm.
of Will Wheaton going like, it's Eladrin, like every single time, and like that is immediately what pops into my head.
I never actually got to get into that series, and like every now and then I'm like, oh yeah, that seems like it'd be fun. It seems like it's my cup of tea, and then I'm just like, that's on the shelf of things that I will eventually watch and listen to,
I
along with the
will I
60
will
other
say
things.
the early campaigns at least are pretty short. I want to say like at least the first one's only like 10 or 12 episodes or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's pretty easy to get into, and it is a delightfully chaotic hot mess of ridiculous bullshit,
Yeah.
which sorry is great.
Yeah.
All right, so
And I did it already.
on that note, watch all of the Greymantle, watch everything else on Dungeon Scholars, then watch Acquisitions Incorporated.
Yes, there we go.
And,
Yeah.
and we gotta
Yeah.
stop to get to our commercial, and we will
Ah!
be right back in just a few minutes with more Greymantle. So don't go away.